Game Boy and Game Boy Color games are now on Nintendo Switch Online. As of the time this video is released, we currently have 9 titles available to start with. Gargoyle's Quest, originally released in 1990, Kirby's Dream Land, originally released in 1992, Metroid 2 Return of Samus, originally released in 1991, Super Mario Land 2 Six Golden Coins, originally released in 1992, Tetris, originally released in 1989, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, originally released in 2001, Game & Watch Gallery 3, originally released in 1999, Wario Land 3, originally released in 2000, and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, originally released in 1998. I love the Game Boy, so I thought I'd list my top 5 games I would like to see released on the platform. I don't know how realistic some of these titles are, but man, would it be cool to see some of them. Now, I will say, titles that have already been announced as coming to the surface, such as Zelda Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, and Pokemon Trading Card Game, will not be on the list. What fun would that be to list games we know are already coming? With that said, let's get to the list. Number 5. The Simpsons, The Living Treehouse of Horror. The Simpsons Night of the Living Treehouse of Horror is number 5 on our list. It was published by THQ, developed by Software Creations, and released on the Game Boy Color in 2001. The video game is based on the classic Treehouse of Horror episodes from the show. How cool is that? I'm a big fan of those early episodes from the 90s, and having a game based off of them is sweet. The game is a side-scrolling platformer. The game features 7 stages to play through. All 5 members of the Simpsons family have at least 1 stage to play through, including Maggie. Homer has 3 stages to himself. What can I say? He is the head of the household. It looks beautiful for an 8-bit system, and the sound isn't too bad either. The fact that this game is based off of a popular license probably means it has a small chance for release on the Nintendo Switch Online, but wouldn't it be great if it did? Number 4. Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid, also known as Metal Gear Ghost Babel in Japan, was released on the Game Boy Color in 2000 and is number 4 on our list. The game is published by Konami. The game is not a port of the original Metal Gear Solid game, released on the PlayStation back in 1998. Instead, it is a game that takes place 7 years after that game in an alternate continuity. The game features a 2D overhead format. Your object is still to sneak around and infiltrate enemy strongholds while avoiding detection. In addition to the main story mode, there are 3 alternate modes you can choose from: Stage Select, VR Training, and Versus Battle. The story is this. 7 years after the Outer Heaven Uprising, a new Metal Gear prototype, codenamed Gander, has been stolen by a separatist guerrilla group in Central Africa. Solid Snake, the man responsible for the destruction of the original Metal Gear, is brought out of retirement in Alaska. The game received overall critical acclaim, and it would be fantastic to have this on the Nintendo Switch Online. Number 3. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge. Pokemon Puzzle Challenge is number 3 on our list. It was published by Nintendo, developed by Intelligent Systems, and released on the Game Boy Color in 2000. The game is based upon Panel de Pon, also known as Tetris Attack in North America. The game features the same type of gameplay, but with a Pokemon overcoat, if you will. Now, I know that Pokemon Puzzle League is already on the Nintendo Switch Online for the Nintendo 64. However, that game features the first gen Pokemon from Red and Blue. This one focuses on the Pokemon from the second gen, Gold and Silver. There are 3 main modes of play: single player, multiplayer, and training. There are also some sub-modes such as Marathon, Challenge, Time Zone, Line Clear, Puzzle, and Garbage. I know we already have a puzzle game for the Game Boy on the service in Tetris, but how could we resist a game that features one of our favorite franchises, Pokemon? It got amazing positive critical reception and even a perfect score from Nintendo Power. What more could you ask for? Number 2. Donkey Kong Land Trilogy. The Donkey Kong Land Trilogy was published by Nintendo and developed by Rare. It is number 2 on our list. The first game was released in 1995, the second in 1996, and third in 1997 for the Game Boy. Like the Super Nintendo counterpart, the game features Donkey and Diddy as playable characters in the first one, Diddy and Dixie in the second one, and Dixie and Kitty in the third. Only one Kong is featured on the screen at a time. Limitations of the hardware. Gameplay is also very similar to the country games. You'll be bouncing on kremlins, collecting bananas, and finding hidden bonus stages. The levels are different from the country games, allowing for a new experience. Essentially, if you love the Donkey Kong Country games, you have to give their handheld counterparts a shot. Number 1. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Number 1 on our list are the Gen 1 Pokemon games. Published by Nintendo and developed by Game Freak, Pokemon Red and Blue were released in 1998 in North America. Pokemon Yellow was released in 1999 in North America. The game stars you, a Pokemon trainer on a quest to become a Pokemon Master. Before you start your journey, you get to pick between 3 starter Pokemon: Bulbasaur, a Grass type, Charmander, a Fire type, or Squirtle, a Water type. If you are playing Yellow, you start with a Pikachu as the game is more aligned with the anime. Along your journey, you'll battle trainers and gym leaders for badges, catch Pokemon to add to your team, and ultimately take on the Elite Four for your chance to be the best. One thing that makes this release on the Nintendo Switch Online so intriguing is an announcement that both Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 are coming to the service. Back in the day, you could attach your Game Boy games to the Stadium games and use your custom trained Pokemon to battle in the arena. That alone makes this a very anticipated release. The release of these games on the service just makes too much sense. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. See you in the next video.